Hello everybody, welcome back to the Our Lady of Joy Lenten Retreat series. I am David Linz, Director of Faith Formation here at the parish. Yeah, we're 5 weeks into this thing, huh? We're most of the way through. We've got 2 weeks to go and we'll be in Holy Week. Wow. Well, thank you for coming back. Let's get right into where we've been and where we're going. So we started off talking about what we expose our souls to. You know, the kind of things we invite into the door of both our homes and our hearts. From there, we talked about the impact that has on our interior lives. And now we're going to talk about the evidence of those interior lives. Okay? So, the evidence. Essentially, you know, if you put something in the cup and then you pour it out and you drink it, you realize what was in it all along. The same thing is true with you and me and everyone that you know. Eventually, what that person is, for lack of a better term, full of, is going to come out. You're going to recognize what's truly in the hearts and the souls of everyone around you, as they will you. So it's important to grasp this, because this is where scandal comes from. This is where saints come from, on both ends of the spectrum. You know, those who are trying to hide things, those who are scampering around, publicly living one life and privately living another, eventually it comes out and scandal occurs, especially for the church. On the other hand, we come to know people as saints who have that deep, strong interior life, and eventually that comes out. It's my favorite analogy when describing to people who are coming into the church why there is scandal, why people have let down the church, especially people in high-profile positions. You know, when people are thinking about coming into the church, sometimes they're concerned. They're concerned about priests who have been scandalous with the hurt that they have perpetrated on others. Or sometimes they're concerned about the family that supposedly was Catholic, who they grew up next to, and all of the trouble they consistently and constantly got into. And I just tell them, look at medicine. When I broke my back, and stop me if you heard me say this to you before. When I hurt my back, I was given painkillers for a while. Do you think that painkillers don't work if you take the whole bottle and you end up in the hospital? Of course not. You weren't taking them according to the prescription. Do you think painkillers don't work when you take an eighth of a pill and you still feel pain? Of course not. You're not taking it according to the prescription. In the same way, those who have caused massive scandal in the church, they weren't taking Catholicism by its prescription. They weren't taking the directives of our Lord by its prescription. Those folks who lived next door, there's a good chance they were not living out the faith as they were supposed to. See, the scandal comes from that, and saints come from this whole thing. That's what's on the inside will eventually come out. And I want to talk to you real quick about two of the most obvious ways that what's on the inside is revealed when it comes to the faith. It's time and relationships. I want you to bust out your Google Calendar or whatever calendar it is that you use, your day planner if you still have one of those, and take a look through it. See what it's filled with. What appointments fill your days? What things keep you busy? Are they things that serve and honor the Lord? Or are there maybe priorities and things in your day planner, in your Google Calendar, that are not quite the way you should be spending your time? And honestly, if we look in the mirror and we're truthful with ourselves, oftentimes the greatest wastes of time aren't even put on the calendar. We just spend so much time doing things that in the end we wish we could have back. You know, I watched a movie recently, and stay with me here. It was on time travel. And it was actually sort of a romantic comedy, but a big subplot was that this main character, the young man, kept going back in time and spending more time with his dad, who had passed away. He was able to travel back and continue to spend time with his dad because his dad knew the secret. And it was such emotional and powerful. It was so emotional and powerful. You know, my dad's passed away, so it kind of hit me in all the feels, right? But it got me thinking, you know, yeah, my dad's passed away, but what about everybody else who I really need to be spending time with right now? And how much will I wish that I could go back in time and just spend some more quality time with them as well? I encourage you to kind of look at life that way. Are you going to look back at how you spent today and think, no, that's not a day I need to go back to because I spent it well? I spent time on the relationships, the people, and the purpose that I should have. You know, I may have told you before that my prayer when I first wake up in the morning is, Lord, what do you have for me today? And, you know, that's such a great way to go about your life. Just, you wake up, boom. Lord, what do you have for me today? Help me to be awake, aware, and ready. At night, the most common prayer I say with Georgiana, my little one, and Mary Rose, my wife, is, Lord, help us wake, refreshed, renewed, and ready to do your will. I pray that we all can do that a little bit more. Let that be the fruit of what's on the inside, you know, as a result of what we let on the inside. See, it all flows. I deeply pray that those of you who are watching this aren't wasting so much of your life on the things that aren't going to matter. You know, I heard Rose Titino, who sold her pizza empire to, I think, Pillsbury, and gave so much of it away. I heard her say something that, you know, maybe you've heard before. You never see a hearse followed by a U-Haul. That's why she gives it all away. She can't take it with her to the gravesite, and she knew it. Mark 8:36 says it perfectly. What does it profit a man to gain the whole world but lose his soul? Sometimes we run too fast and we do too much. And we don't just sit across a table from someone we love and look them in the eyes and spend quality time with them. Sometimes we're too busy scrolling to hear our child ask us a question. Sometimes we're too busy watching something very important on television to hear our spouse truly share from the heart. We can't miss these things. God has put us here for a reason, to make a difference. Let us spend our time and let us spend our relationships on things that draw us nearer to the Lord. Next week, I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about ways that we can witness with our the gifts that we've been given, the inside coming out, if you will. And then the week after that, we're going to wrap it all up for Holy Week. So I hope to see you next week. Thank you for spending a few minutes with me. God bless.